Hey guys, it's your boy Joe back at it again, man. CodingPhase.com, your boy is back and I done did it again. Yo, so today we basically going to answer this comment that's here. It says from Emil Nastasi. He says, "Hey Joe, if it's so great to be a web developer, why you stop doing it?" And my answer to this is, when did I stop doing it? Like, I do web development every single day. Every single hour that I get extra free, like, I'm doing web development. So I don't know where people will get this idea that I stopped doing web development. Like, I'm teaching you guys web development. I have a website called CodingPhase.com where I'm doing constantly web development. I have my own private clients that I help out and I build websites for them. I'm still doing web development. Like, just because I don't decided that I don't want to work for a company right now at this moment doesn't mean that I'm not gonna work for a company in the future. It might happen, it might not happen, like, etc. Right? Like, it doesn't really matter to me. You know what I mean? Like, I've gone to that level. I've unlocked. Imagine this. I'm like Super Saiyan web developer right now. Like, I'm doing stuff that about 90% of all developers wish they could do, which is get your freedom, work on stuff that you like to do, work on projects that you want to do. Because in reality, let's talk about it. Like, when you work for a company, you work for the company for the money, for the security, for the fact that you got benefits, etc. Right? Me personally, I've already had that. Like, my motivation at one point was to be like, hey, I want to get to make $50,000 a year. I, check that off the bucket list. I got to 75. Check that off the bucket list. Got to 180. Not 180, to 80. Then got to 120. Check that off the bucket list. This year, probably going to make about like 140, 150, maybe 160, right? Depending on how it goes. I mean, we still have time. 1 month we in October. So we still got 2-3 months left. So I might get to 160 this year, right? Now, is that going to make me happy to be like, hey guys, I got to 160,000 this year, or, say, hey, I got to 200,000. Like, it's not going to make me happy to say that, right? What's going to make me happy to say is, hey, I have helped about, over 10,000 students, 8,000, 9,000 people on YouTube, 10,000 on Udemy. I got Stack Commerce, people buying courses there from me. Like, I got so many different avenues, right? That in reality, I'm like, when did I stop doing web development? You know what I mean? Like, I haven't. This is all web development, right? Like, I'm just not working for somebody else. I'm working for myself. This is something that everybody wants. I'm pretty sure you want it yourself too. Like, when you come here and you're like, man, you start working for a company, you're like, okay, I'm going to do this in the long term. I want to, if you're smart, because there's people who are, they're born to be pawns. Like, there's this saying that says, hey, there's people who are born to be hammers and there's people that are born to be nails, right? I was born to be a hammer, right? I wasn't born to be a nail. Meaning, like, I'm not there just getting hit every single day and that's it, that's my job. I'm the one hitting, right? So, and I've always been like that, from the beginning. Like, when I used to do designs, basically I started like my own little web design team. When I used to do music, I opened up my own studio and, pay for everything and set everything up. When I do something, I go to their max on my own, right? Like, a company can't give me all those things that I'm getting right now, right? I mean, this is just the beginning, guys. Like, literally, like, every time I drop a video, more people subscribe, more people get to find out about me. And then not only that, then I have other places that are helping me promote. I got the company from Udemy that's helping me out to reach out to more students and get more people to know me. I'm trying to do bigger collaborations. I'm going to bigger conferences. I might be talking in some major conferences. Like, it's like sky's the limit for me right now. You know what I mean? It's like I was telling this guy, was this guy's name, Even You, the creator of You. I told him on the video that I made for him, I was like, bro, like I don't hate you because you actually accomplished something that most developers want to do, which is the freedom to create things that you want to do, right? So, right now he created Vue.js, he gets $110,000 a year, right? Or more, just from Patreon, people that support him. So he don't have to work for Google no more. He don't have to work for Meteor no more. Like, he does everything on his own time, and he works on projects that he wants to do. So what did like for me, did I stop, did I stop creating stuff? No. I'm creating amazing things. Like right now, I'm looking at this, I'm creating this game that I have here. I also have, there's a class that I'm building with you guys, which is the restaurant, right? I have that right now. Like, go to projects, hyper restaurant. Okay, click here, click open, right? Like, I'm building so many different projects every single day. Like, I haven't stopped doing web development. Like, I'm doing this even more than I was when I was working, with a company. Like, I'm doing this almost 24/7, like literally. Like, we're coming in, creating this. And then this is like such a cool project because like we're gonna have, dummy data. We're gonna come in, create a menu. We're gonna do reservations. All of that stuff is gonna be done through this course, right? And I'm teaching people, and at the same time, I'm building it myself, right? So then, not only am I building this project, which I can literally use it for my portfolio, like I come in, I put in my portfolio, and then show it to people and be like, hey, this is what I built. And at the same time, I taught it to people, which also helps me look even better because it's like, oh man, if he built this and then he taught it to people, that means he really knows his stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so at any moment, I could literally blink and be like, hey man, I want to start working in a company, right? Am I going to do that right now? No. I'm going to take a few months and give this time to myself and be like, hey man, at some point I got to do it and decided to do my own thing, right? And I don't have no regrets. Now, if I go and start working for a company and be like, man, what would have happened if I would have just continued doing YouTube and creating courses online? Sky's the limit. Who knows where I would have gone? I don't want to be saying that, 5-10 years from now. I want to be able to say, hey, I tried it. I did it. If it succeeds, it's like, yeah, great. If it fails, it's still great because with all the work that I'm doing here, my portfolio is gonna be so crazy. Like, literally, like, you guys have no idea. Like, you know what I mean? Plus, this is cool because I'm reinforcing all the skills that I already know. Like, I already know JavaScript. Like, but then at the same time, me being able to teach it to you guys was helping me. Is basically, now when I go to interviews, I could even explain it even better. Like, there's so many details that, sometimes you go over things and you're like, oh yeah, it's like, it's hard for you to explain it. But now I'm like, man, like, I know this stuff like the back of my hand now. You know what I mean? Like, I can build anything that I want. Any company right now will tell me, hey, can you build me this app? Can you build me this web app? I'm like, yeah, I could do it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I never stop doing web development, guys. It's not like I'll be like, oh, I just, if it's so great to be a web developer, why you stop doing it? I've never stopped doing it. I just found a different road for myself. Everybody's going to have a road for their own, right? Like, you might become a web developer and work for a company, right, that does animation. A year from now, a year after you get hired, then you realize that you like animation, and then now you focus more on the front end of, creating animations, like all those people that be on CodePen or whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's all depends on what role you get into. So like, some people might go into a company and be like, oh man, I really don't like the front end because I got to be worried about multiple browsers. So now I just want to work on the back end. Like, that's it. Your road changed. Everybody's road is completely different. Everybody's going to decide something on their own. Like, what exactly is it that they want to do? For me personally, like, I just want to teach it to people. I want to create the projects that I want to create, without having to be like, hey, you work for e-commerce websites. Like, I don't want to be doing e-commerce my whole life. That's not something that I want to do. Like, if I was to work at a company, like, I don't know, it has to be something cool, something fun, something that'll be like, oh, shoot, I'm working on this stuff. Or like, I'm proud to say, hey, I'm working on this. You know what I mean? Like, let's say something like, I don't know, if like Spotify hit me up right now or Apple hit me up right now, I'll be like, cool, I'll go work at Apple, right? But for me to just take any job anymore, like, it's not worth it because what? Like, right now, I'm earning probably 85% of what I was earning before on my own. So why would I go back to a company to earn a little bit more than what I'm earning now to just say, hey, I freaking, I work for a company. Like, I don't need it. You know what I mean? Like, I can make my own road, create my own projects. Like, there's so many guys creating cool stuff, man. Like, I don't know if I told you guys this story about this digital agency that I was working with. It was this kid called George, man. He was like super smart, but he was a little bit of an a-hole because he was like so smart and he knew so much that he thought like he was just like the biggest and smartest thing in the world. And it's like, nah, bro, you just have more years over me, right? But whatever. Going to the story, basically him and his partner created a company that all they do was sell ads online. And let me see, something like Gap City, something like that. Let me see. I'm gonna see if I find it. I can't find it right now. But basically they created this platform where they could sell ads, right? And like, let's say you have an article and your article is about I don't know, fitness, right? You could go and reach out to people like Shaquille O'Neal or whatever girl that's on Instagram that's really popular with fitness. They could go and reach out to her and tell her, hey, if you post this on Twitter, basically this post that somebody gave us, we'll pay you, X amount of dollars per click, right? So it'll be like 20 cents per click or something like that, right? When they click on those things, the people go to a page that's full of ads. I don't know if you ever seen like Looper, looper.com. You go to a page that's full of ads and it looks something like this. Like, it's like that. You have ads here. You keep scrolling. You have ads here. When people come to this type of pages, they continue clicking and clicking and clicking. Like, you click here and then now you get sent to Zergneck, and then from Zergneck you get sent to this, and it's like a big network, right? These guys, they make millions doing this thing, and he did it on his own. He's a web developer, and I was working for him, and I was like, yo, how the hell you guys built it? He's like, oh, I just built it with PHP and MySQL and HTML, CSS. That's it. I built it. This guy's built like a whole empire around this whole thing. This whole Looper.com and Zergnet and all this stuff. Like, they make millions of dollars, right? So if somebody comes to him and be like, hey, man, why is web development so great? If you left it alone, you don't do web development no more. It's like, bro, like, I do web development every single day. It's just I'm putting it to use in different things. Like, I don't have to say, hey, I work for Facebook. Hey, I work for Google. Hey, I work for XYZ. Hey, I'm on the new, Harry Potter framework. Like, nah, you don't have to do that. That's why when I created that course that I've been telling people to check out, I know how to code now. What? I basically give you guys an exit plan at the end of the thing. Like, because the story of you being a developer doesn't end when you get hired. That's the beginning. right? So when you continue with your skills and you start creating stuff and you start getting experience from working in businesses, you're like, man, I could build my own business. I could start selling my own stuff. I could start doing XYZ, right? That's when your story begins and you start really creating cool stuff. Working for a company is just like a means to an end. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to do it to get the experience and learn a lot of stuff that you want to learn. But it's not the final place. It's not for like, hey, man, that's it. I got hired. You know, like, those are the losers of web development. Those are the people that they end up just getting a job and that's it. There goes their life. Like, you know, they'll stay there for 10, 15 years. I've seen people like that. Guys that, you know, they become super unhappy. Like, you know, especially people that stay in one company. Like, one company, they always got to be doing the same thing. Like, most companies, like, let's say an example. You come in to a company and you work on an example on Node.js. Let's say an example, right? Node.js is hot right now. 2-3 years from now, we don't know what's going to be hot. What's going to get you excited about web development, right? It's not going to be Node.js. You're not going to be stuck on Node.js for 3 to 5 years and you think that you're going to be like, oh, this is super exciting. No, you're going to want to jump into something else, something more challenging, because after a while, you're going to master Node.js and you're going to be like, oh, this is kind of boring. This is repetitive. I'm doing the same thing every single day, right? So you're going to want to move on to something else. But if you stay in the same company, you're always going to be working on Node.js because that's how the companies are. Once they set up a certain system, it costs so much money to go and try new technologies and changing new stuff like that, like new frameworks. And like, I've seen companies that still using Angular 1 because it's going to cost them so much money to just change it to Angular 2 or React. Like, it's not worth it. So what do people do? Do they just stay there working with Angular 1? No, there's a couple of people who are just like, you know, sorry for using this word, like losers, who just be like, you know, they're not secure about their skills. They feel like, oh, if I get this job, I got to stay here because this is my only job that I'm going to get. I'm not the type of person. I'm the type of person that if I feel a certain way, I'm like about company or I'm getting tired of them, I'm leaving. Like, goodbye. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be there. Like, I know what skills I have. I have skills that I can build my own business if I wanted to. Like, I don't need to be stuck in a company doing stuff that I don't want to do. You know what I mean? So it's up to you what type of person you want to be. It's up to you to become the type of developer that you want to become at the end. So that's what I'm saying, you know. So when going back to this question, you know, whereas, hey, Joe, if it's so great to be a web developer, why you stop doing it? I mean, after this whole video, I mean, you tell me, do you think I stopped doing it? I mean, it's like how they say it, man. Do I look like I'm left off bad and bougie? I'm out, kids. Anyways, man, CodingPhase.com. It's your boy Joe back at it again, man. CodingPhase.com. Make sure you check that out. Go to my website, guys. Listen. For this, the best deal. I'm being honest 100%, guys. This is the best deal you're going to get. There's no other deal like this out there. I was looking at a couple of other people. There's this guy who's pretty popular on how you call this, on Udemy. Let me see, where is it? And I was like thinking, I was like, man, he's doing sort of the same thing that I'm doing. Like, he's using Teachable. He's doing almost all the same things that I'm doing, but literally, I'm gonna show you guys how much he's charging. Like literally $34 a month, guys. Like, that's and a whole bunch of pop-ups and a whole bunch of stuff. Courses are, you know, $300, you know, $97, $200. Like, this, you know, it's like one 1 hour course for $10. Like, guys, I'm giving you so much content, and like, this is not a knock to him because he has a different audience. He has a way to pretty much persuade people to pay this much. But me, I'm not trying to hit you guys with something crazy like this. Like, imagine me, I'm like, hey guys, you want to get to learn HTML, CSS, $300. Hey, how about I just bundle up all 5 projects that you need and say, hey, it's $300. I'm not gonna do that to you guys, man. For $10 on my website, man, you get every single course, man. Like, you're getting so much content, guys. Like, it's not even funny. This is like on some Netflix. You know what I mean? Like, I'm over here just giving you guys everything, man. This is way more than what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, literally, the people from Udemy is like, yo, I don't know why you're doing this, because you're undercutting your own courses on Udemy. You could be making way more money. And I understand that. But the reason why I'm doing this is because this is for my YouTube audience, right? The people that find me from Google, they find me from Quora, they find me from Facebook, they find me from Team Treehouse, Forum, wherever they find me, right? Like, let them pay, you know, what the real price is, which is $20 a month, right? Now, for you guys, because you know me from not Facebook, but from YouTube, basically you getting a super discount, you get a 50% off. That's it. Like, you know, it's like, take advantage, man. Like, don't let it go over your head, man, and be like, oh, I'll do this later on, because you never know. I'll be honest, guys, you never know how long I might have this. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna always create courses, but you know how is it that say supply and demand? Like, if the demand is higher, then the prices is gonna be way higher than that. You know what I mean? So it's like, take advantage now, because you're like part of like the pilgrims, the first people that sign up to the website. Once this website is like 10,000, 50,000 students, like, the sky's the limit, man. Like, I'm being honest, like, those prices is definitely gonna change. You know what I mean? But take advantage now, because if you sign up now, you basically lock in that price and say, hey, this is what I'm gonna pay forever. You know what I mean? So it's up to you guys. But yeah, man, I hope that answered that question, that comment, and yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye.